This is the best horror of the 2025 and I will explain you why. The first part will be no spoiler and the second part will be a little more spoilery. Let's start to say that Weapons is an atypical horror, okay? That even if it gets all the elements of the horror genre, at the same time is not that standard. And at first sight, you may think that it's very heavy, okay, because the topic it's devastating. Okay, we're talking about the disappearing of 17 kids. 17 kids that are all in the same class in a school, okay? Except one single kid. And how it happened. Basically, one night, at the same time, all these kids, they get out of their houses and they started to run in a direction that nobody knows where. Now, the nice thing is that this is not something that it's happening, okay, in the movie. But the story starts when everyone knows about that, okay, all the teachers, the parents, and this is possible because there are some cameras outside the houses that recorded these kids that just get out of the house and they started to run, you know, with the open arms like airplanes. And wow, this is disturbing first, but also intriguing. Okay, you got my attention because I want to know what happened. And there are a few characters, but very important. There is the teacher, that is a great actress from another series on Netflix, that everyone think that she's the guilty. Okay, because this teacher has some kind of interesting manners. Okay, she drives some kids home, she talks a lot with these kids, she wanna know about them, about their family, and that's why, you know, for everyone she's the monster and she's involved in this story. Then there is a parent, that is Josh Brolin, another incredible actor that cannot trust the police, so he starts to investigate. There is the head of the school, that is another great actor that you know, at some point is involved too, because it's connected to all the plot. There is a policeman that is you know, related to the teacher. There are a few characters, but you know, the right amount. They all play a role. And the best part is that you're not gonna leave the story as a whole, but you're gonna focus each time on a single character in the same time frame. Okay, so you're gonna watch for all the movie the same time span, but experienced by a different character. At the beginning, the teacher, what's happening with her, then what happened to the parent, okay, the worried parent, then the head of the school, the policeman, and you know, despite there is no one actually investigating in the movie, okay, in the world maybe, but in the movie, you know, there is no one that is actually having the right intuition, and that's the great stuff, because the only detective will be you. It's you that by watching these different characters in the same time frame, you will start to collect the clues, the proofs, and you're gonna find out the real truth, because who's watching is an active part of the movie itself. And at the beginning I was scared for half of the movie, probably because I thought that was like Dark, that, I mean, great series, but you know, there is always this threat in the movies of this age, that, you know, they're all about the multiverse, time travel. So, you know, there are these kids that are running in this location where they're gonna find you know, these themselves but older, and I was like, please, not again. I cannot bear another movie like that. This is a simple story. It's not frustrating, it's not a pure horror, even if there are some jump scares. I mean, just a few, but quite effective. And you know, there is a character that I cannot spoiler to you in this part, that it's scaring. Okay, it's scaring, and it's very hard in these times to find a villain, I can tell you this, that it's truly scaring. Okay, and not for a jump scare, not because it's horrific, but because the plot itself, you can feel it inside. Okay, now the part with spoilers. That I don't know if you're gonna watch the second part because you don't want to watch the movie itself, or just because you're craving for new info, you want to know what really happened. So now I will explain you what happened for real. All these 17 kids disappeared because there is someone calling them. And who's calling them? Basically, there is this the only kid that hasn't disappeared is connected to this story. Guess what? In the house of this kid, there is an old lady, a relative, an aunt that is coming to this family because she's sick, and there is no one that can take care of her. That's why this family decides to to help her. But the day later, okay, when the kid comes back from school, he will see that his parents got turned into vegetables. Okay, they are not able to answer. They are like AI, but a very old one. And the lady that was sick the night before, now she's active. Okay, she's full of life, and this is not explained in the movie, but my guess is that this old lady, to survive, she's very old, she was already supposed to be dead, but she uses with magic the life of these people to to increase her lifetime, I assume. And of course the kid at the beginning fights back. Okay, he tries to take his parents back, but the old lady that controls the minds of the parents forces them to hit themselves with forks and knives. So the kids is forced to accept everything she asked. And at some point the old lady asks the kid to bring an object of every classmate of his class at school, because she needs all these kids to take life. Okay, because otherwise because the parents were not enough. Okay, so to survive she needed young life, we can say. And the kid accepts, because at least in this way probably he will have a way to get his parents back. Okay, so the revelation is that these kids got called by this witch. No time travel, no multiverse. They just got called by this enchantment. They become their minds are now under the control, and their bodies, of course, are under the control of the witch. And that's how she managed to attract all the kids to her house. They start to find out, because for example there is the parent and the teacher that they managed to find a solution, that the point where all the kids were going is where is the house of the only kid that was not missing. So you started to gather to collect the details, the clues, but you cannot expect still that there is a witch. There are some point the parents that are shown, and that are quite crazy, because they are in the darkness, just sat down, they don't move. And it's scary, because what's happening to these kids is a dysfunctional family where the kid does everything by himself. Quite crazy. And then at some point you realize when at the end at some point there are many crazy things happening, like the head of the school that is acting like the kids, and is trying to to murder the teacher, because she knows too much, probably, or because they want to wreak havoc in the city. But then when you finally see the story from the point of view of the kid, you realize that his parents were actually okay before this old lady finally came up. And that's the the plot twist, because you always think that it's something related to the family, some spirit, when I mean this was just a normal family with a normal kid that they were a beautiful family. Actually, they show great moments between them. And yeah, at some point the revelation is out there, and it's scary because you see the power of this old lady that can control the mind of everyone that she wants. And the character this itself, how they manage to bring her to life, it's impressive. And this is one of those kinds of horror movies that really put you gives you more hope for the genre, because sometimes with most of horrors you're just like, what is that? I don't know. There is even the right size of magic, okay, because yeah, it's quite fantasy, it's quite with a surrealism, but not that much. They still keep the plot under a layer of credibility of something that may be possible, even with a little of magic. That there is not like a possession, that a witch from the god, from Jesus, that comes to the earth to dominate the world. No, just a witch that to survive she has to use these compromises. For her probably not, she would be used to. And yeah, I think it's a crazy story. If you haven't watched this part, you should probably, even if you watch the part with spoiler, you should give a try, because believe me, you will not get disappointed. Thank you for following me, and see you very, very soon.